Well, hello, hello, my lovely, luscious lions. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. So, welcome, welcome, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am the modern day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including astrology, tarot, mediumship, all kinds of stuff to help you on your path. So, my gorgeous ones, I know it's been a while. I know I didn't get to do your video last month. I got really, really ill. I had lost my voice, gained my voice, ended up with bronchitis, and so I'm just now getting over it, still kind of coughing, so if I cough during this, I apologize. So we've had a lot of, that's enough about me, let's talk about you. So that we've had a lot of changes going on, a lot of things going on. You've had this going on for like a year, maybe almost a little more than a year. So you've had this North Node, You've had this North Node in your sign. This is your sign, Leo. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what's happened, go over a little bit about what the eclipse in July. Then we've got this eclipse coming up. We've got Jupiter that's gone direct. And so that's what we'll be talking about. So let's talk about Mercury going retrograde. So Mercury went retrograde, and this is in your house. So this is you. This is your identity. And by the way, when I'm reading from the ascending or the rising, but you can also read it from the sun and the moon, so they apply as well. You just have to look at it from that perspective, right? So to me, the ascending and the rising is your fate, your destiny, that subconscious stuff, the thing that you came here to do on your path, right? So we have Mercury gone retrograde in your first house. So you've already been doing this, Leo. You've already been processing and changing, and because you've had this North Node here, changing, and maybe you were changing the way you look, maybe you were changing the way you've done things, maybe you were changing the relationships that you had, maybe you gained some relationships, maybe you did a real strict workout regimen. Like when this house is activated like this, this is about you changing you to the bigger you, to the more you, right? And the reason I say this is because of this North Node. You've had this karmic, this North Node is about what you want to do in this life, about the lessons you want to learn, the experiences you want to have, however you call that into you, right? And so with this first house being activated with your North Node, you've already been doing that. Well, you know, Leo, and this is something that to be commended about. You have a lot of passion in the things that you do. You have a lot of love with an open heart in the things that you do. And you're a leader. You will go, 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 do what it takes, do more than it takes, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, right? And so I think that's an attribute to be commended. But what can happen is that we can go, 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 and we need time to process these changes that we've made. But because we're so go, 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 you're so fiery, you're so passionate, you know, you can forget to actually process the letting go, right? Let go of what no longer serves you, right? And so this is kind of what Mercury retrograde is about, processing these things, because we have this eclipse in your sign that's coming up, but we've had this eclipse in your 7th house. You know, the 7th house is about your mirroring. So we have Mercury retrograde that's gone in your first house. You'll be processing these things that are coming to you, these things that have already happened. And then we've had Jupiter gone direct, right? And so 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4th house is about your lineage. The 4th house is like your DNA, where you came from, who you are. And then when you're working in this 4th house, you ultimately can come to an understanding, growing in this house, that only you can make you comfortable. Only you can make you happy. Only you can make you satisfied, give you joy, right? Only you. That's what you learn. You learn that the people around you are just reflecting you in different ways, but they're reflecting you. And so to have the comfort, to have the joy, to have the happiness, that's what you're working through in this house. Jupiter had been retrograde, so you'd been really processing, reorganizing, understanding, trying to figure it out, looking at the people around you, looking at the situations around you, right? And so now that Jupiter's gone direct, as it moves forth, you're going to come to this greater understanding, and things will be happening for you. So whatever you define as comfort for you can come through this house. whatever you define as happiness for you can come through this house. You understanding that it's a reflection of you, but ultimately knowing that you're at peace, right? And so that's what's going on in this house for you. So we've had this, and I apologize, I'm gonna have to cough. Sorry. So on the 27th, we had this lunar eclipse. And so we've had these eclipses in Aquarius and Leo for a while now. And so we had this lunar eclipse, and let me talk about what eclipses are. So eclipses have to do with your soul's journey. Eclipses have to do with you and your higher self. Eclipses have to do with things or karmic things happening to you or things on your path so that you can grow, you can evolve, you can experience, right? To grow your light, to grow your soul. That's what eclipses are about, right? Well, we had this lunar eclipse, and it was attached to the south node. So the north node has been in your sign, which means the south node is always opposite. So it was at 5 degrees in Aquarius, in your 7th house. And it was also conjunct to the lunar eclipse and to Mars. Okay, so what are lunar eclipses about? Lunar eclipses are about teaching us to let go of what no longer serves us. And honestly, this has to do with your 4th house, right? Ultimately, you understanding that you are more than just your body, that you are the one that makes you comfortable, that you are the one that makes you happy, right? That joy can, like, you can buy all the things in the world, and you can take all the trips in the world, and you can have all the people around you, and you can still be sad. You can still be not fulfilled. You can still be, yeah, and I know I hear people say, well, I'd like to even experience that. Well, you may. But when you're understanding in this house, with this lunar eclipse, understanding that I can let go of the past. I can maybe forgive those people, maybe forgive myself for not doing the right thing, or what I consider the right thing, or for them doing the wrong thing, because that's no longer serving me. What is that serving me? I have grown so much. And with these eclipses being in your house and in your opposite sign, over the year, you were learning that you're just carrying that baggage unnecessarily. You're in a different place. You've transitioned. You've moved ahead, right? And so the eclipse comes and it teaches us to let go of what no longer serves us, to not have to carry that baggage around, right? And why do you want to do that? Well, because I've said this before, but I'll say it again. In our higher selves, in our ultimate whole being, we can have unlimited amounts of energy run through us. But on this earth, in this resonance, in this physicalness, there's only so much energy that can run through us, right? We are part of the one. But in this resonance, we can only have so much energy run through us. And so all that disgust, all the reminiscing about what people did to you, all the not forgiving, all of that. And some of you have learned this over the year and a half, 2 years that you've been going through this, that it doesn't serve you anymore. And that those people, for some of you have this understanding, those people came in to reflect that. There was something in that you wanted to experience, understand, and grow from, right? And so when you can let that go, you're going to open yourself up to be able to receive the abundance. And the abundance can mean very many things for very, very many Leos. Like, it can be about the money. It can be about the relationship. It can be about having a deep, solid relationship, whether it's romantic or not, with somebody that you trust, with somebody that is able to give you what you want, or you're able to give them what they want. Like, the abundance comes very differently for people. And so this is what you've been sort of working through, right? And so this lunar eclipse being on or being next to the south node has to do with your karmic, your old karma, past karma, letting go of past karma, letting go of maybe something that you brought in, maybe this relationship that you didn't finish up in your last life and you're finishing up now. So this is a time over the next 5 months, 6 months for some of you, the next 5 months, to really let that go. And by letting go, I don't mean, Spirit never wants you to just go in there and say, all right, I'm letting it go, right? They want you to understand why that happened. what it was that you wanted to grow from, how you were not there but you're here, how you have changed and transitioned and transformed, right? And when you understand that you're okay, you're good, and you're going to be even better if you aren't already better than you were, right? When you understand that, you can say to them energetically, you don't have to say it to them physically, but you can say energetically, thank you for coming in and being the bad guy. Thank you for reminding me of what I don't want. Thank you for reminding me of what I do want. Thank you. And then you can let that go. And when you let that go, you have more room for this solar eclipse that's coming, right? You can do that with your old contracts, the past life contracts. Yeah, I'm done. You can say I'm done with this eclipse. I'm done. I've done all I can do. I've learned all I want to. I'm done, right? So with Mars being here and on this south node that you had this lunar eclipse, and again, you'll be processing this for the next 5 to 6 months. Some of you have already done it. Some of you are still doing it. Kind of depends on your chart. But as you're processing, you're making room. As you're processing, you're making room. But with this, and because Mars is there, it can feel frustrated. It can feel like you're being attacked. It can feel like everyone's against you. It can feel like you're not making any headway, right? And the other thing, too, that I've discussed with everybody else is we have these retrogrades. These retrogrades are making us feel like it doesn't matter what I do, I am trying to work hard and it still won't work, right? Just like me. I wanted to get that video out to you guys last month. I was trying to get videos out all month, but I couldn't, like it got so bad, I couldn't even talk. And so I had to stop and say, all right, what's going on here? Obviously I need to take a break. I need to take better care. I'm in the middle of something else. So as much as I want to, I got to go with the flow, right? So, and that's because of these retrogrades. It's because for me, myself, I had to hang back and say, okay, I need to reorganize. I need to readjust. I need to see how I can do it. I need to not work myself 15 hours a day, right? And so, and I'm saying this because Leos, you can do this where you work 14, 12, 15. Like you don't have a problem doing that when you're passionate about something. But there is a balance. And so with all these retrogrades, I mean, we have Saturn, we have Pluto, we have Mars, we have Neptune, we have Chiron, and I have a Chiron video. We have the North Node, we have Mercury now, but we had Jupiter, right? And so retrogrades are about reorganizing, adjusting, amending, right? Really trying to figure it out. And so that's where we're at. And it, as below, so as above, so below, right? As above, so below, the micro to the macro, right? Which means you can see it not just in your personal life, but you can see it in the world. Like the world is going through big changes. Society is going through big changes, which we kind of already knew was coming because I told you with Uranus that was coming, right? We have these big planets and Saturn and Pluto. Like we have these big planets that are really making us work, change, see what we want to do, where are we going next? Not just personally, but on a global level, right? And so with this lunar eclipse, this is what's been going on. And I want you guys to be easy on yourself because you have these retrogrades there for a reason. Now, I've said this to the others, I'll say it to you. I can tell you what and guide you and help you understand about what these planets and this energy is about, but it's always up to you to decide whether you want to do it or not. Like you can totally say, nah, not doing that. I don't feel like doing that. I'm not even going to look at it. Or you can say, nope, I'm going to do it. They love you either way. Spirit loves you either way. They know you. They love you either way. The planets are just going to, you'll just not do it until it comes back around and decide whether to do it or not, right? The planets are just going to do what they're going to do. This energy is here for you. It's here to help guide you. It's here to help you understand. It's here to help push and pull you. It's here to help. But that's up to you whether you want the help, right? That's up to you. It's always your choice. So that happened on the 27th. You'll be releasing, you'll be understanding, you'll be really gathering. And this has been going on for a while for you, Leo. And so this isn't anything new, but this is the last of it. This is the last part of it. You're shifting into something new. You're shifting into something bigger, more. But it's up to you. Are you going to shift? Or are you not going to shift? That's kind of up to you, right? So now, August 1st through the 15th, and I'll talk about the solar eclipse in a little bit. August 1st through the 15th, from the 1st to the 15th, we have these two squares that I want to talk about. So we got Mars square, Uranus square, and then we have Chiron square and Saturn square, right? And so Saturn and Chiron are in your 6th and 9th house, okay? So the 6th house is about your health, your well-being. So a lot of you may have had some health issues that you're not looking at, that some of you are refusing to look at because you keep saying, oh, I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep going. And it's that passion that you have for something. It's like, and so this house is really making you take note of your everyday life, of the people around you, maybe the neighbors, maybe your siblings, maybe acquaintances, those people around you, your everyday routine. How are you making it work? Are you really taking care of yourself or not? Like, all this has been going on with Pluto and Saturn, right? And Mars is about to go in there. And so with this square, Chiron, this is in your 9th house. Your 9th house is your belief system. Your 9th house is a greater understanding, seeking that higher knowledge. Also has to do with astrology. It has to do with a lot of things. It's a big house. So Chiron is that thing, that energy, we'll call it that energy. Chiron is that energy, and I have a Chiron video. Anything I talk about, I will have as a link in the description box below at the end of this video, or in the icon, okay? So Chiron is that placement where it doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter how many times you try it, doesn't matter if you try it 1,000 different ways, it just won't. You always get the short end of the stick, right? It just won't happen. Or it's like you're always at the wrong place at the wrong time. That's Chiron. And ultimately what you learn through Chiron is when you give up your service, when you give service to others because of your knowledge of working through this, like, you get experience in working through this, right? And when you help others, it releases your Chiron, it releases you. And so, you know, when those things come about and I'm helping other people understand, it sort of helps you understand more too about how to work in it, about how to do it this way, right? So that's what you learn with Chiron. Well, we've got these two squares. So for the next 15 days, probably it's already started, you're going to be feeling this back and forth, push and pull. Who's in my life, who's not in my life? Because these two are activated. Your 7th house, your 1st house. Your identity, who you are, who you want to be, where you came from, who you were, forgiving you, forgiving your past, forgiving your people, and what you're going to become, where you want to go, right? And that's given through these relationships, these people that come in front of you, mirroring you, helping you understand what I don't like, what I do like, how I want to be treated, how I don't want to be treated. It's ultimately a picture of you, right? And so this is what you're coming to understand. But for the next 15 days, because these two are squared, your belief system is going to be challenged. Your health may be challenged. Your daily routine may be challenged. Like, something could be challenged back and forth. They're both trying to get you to the same place. They're just not speaking to each other very well. Like, they both want to be the leader, right? Then you have the Mars-Uranus square. The Mars-Uranus square is in your 7th house and your 10th house. Ultimately, this is about the relationships you have. And your 10th house is about your work, your career, your accolades, the life purpose, the thing you came here to do in the public eye, right? Out in public, out in the world. Uranus likes to shock and awe. Uranus will change it. It will change it so that it can liberate you, right? And Mars wants to lead because Mars is the god of war. So you may, and this can play out in a lot of different ways for a lot of different people, which is why I do charts, personal charts. This can be about, I'm working too hard and my relationship is suffering. My romantic relationship is suffering. I'm working too hard and my career is on point, but my, relationship with my family is suffering. Or it could be, I'm all in with my relationship, but my career is suffering. Like, it could be that going on. Like, you're trying to find the balance in that. And something is going to shift. It's going to shift. So either somebody leaves, and because you have this lunar eclipse, either you let go of someone, or you let go of a project, or you let go of a relationship, or you let go of the way about which you do things. Like, something's going to be let go, because the lunar eclipse is here to teach you how to release what no longer serves you, right? But we can get our egos involved and say, nope, I want that, I want that, I want that, when it's not in the best interest of where you're moving to. That makes sense? So for the next 15 days, you're going to be feeling that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Just understand it will shift. It's going to shift. So then on the 7th, I am so sorry, I'm going to have to cough again. On the 7th, Venus enters Libra. And so Venus entering Libra is in your 3rd house of communication, your 3rd house of paperwork, administration, videos, editing, your friends, your neighbors, it could be even your coworkers, right? So this is about communication. This is about when Venus moves in there, it wants to bring you love, luck, and money. So if you've been working on this, because you have over here, and over here, and over here, or sorry, over here, Venus will gift you, but it's going to be in a very balanced Libran way, right? And so it could bring somebody here to help you. Maybe you're working too hard. Maybe you need some help. And so this person comes and helps you with your project, with your paperwork, with your video editing, with your, I don't know, scheduling your speaking engagements. Like maybe somebody helps you and then they turn into being a life partner. I mean, something's going to come through here. And I can tell because you've been working on it. And it is time for some of you, if you're open to having someone come in. But that's not the only thing. Someone can come in through here as well. Okay, so that's going to be going on for the next 30 days. To me, it doesn't actually produce a lot until it's about 25 degrees and more. But if you've already been working and clearing and have room, then it'll produce early. Okay, so then on the 11th, this is the big thing. On the 11th is your solar eclipse, and it is happening in your house, Leo. And so where the lunar eclipse is about letting go, taking from you, releasing old karma, completing some things. Maybe you've completed this relationship and you understand this business partner, we had a great time, but he's going in a different way than I'm going. Like that could be happening too. So because with this lunar eclipse, the solar eclipse is about gifting you, about giving you. And this solar eclipses are about giving you something that you want fulfilled on your soul's path, right? So it's to help make you bigger. It's to help make you more. It's to help you become more. So whatever that is, it can be a lot of different things for a lot of different people. But it has to do with your North Node, right? Which is your future, what you came here to do, what you want to do, what you want to learn, what you want to be, what you want to experience. And so for the next 6 months, and some of you 8 months, you could be, things could be changing and gifts could be coming and things could be coming towards you. But you will only have the things that come to you if you have room in your energetic field. That's the only things that could come through, because you only have so much room in your energetic field right now. Okay? So if you're releasing, if you're letting go, if you're really going back and saying, you know what, I forgive myself for being da-da-da, myself for not making the right decision, or I forgive myself for, it could be about that. Like as you're releasing, or you know what, maybe I was way too hard on this person because I was so upset and I just made them out to be the villain, and I forgive them. Maybe I forgive you. As you're forgiving, as you're releasing, you're giving more more room in your energetic field for your abundance to come in, for your dreams to come in. Because like I said, if you don't do it this time, it'll just come around again. In like 2026 is the next time, I think. I think it's 2025 or 26. So that's kind of up to you. So you want to make room, you're going to have more come in. And then with Mercury retrograde, it's processing this stuff. And so when Mercury goes direct this month, you're going to, and then you got, this is great. With Mercury going direct, you're going to be taking that forward. Where do I want to go? How do I see this going? What do I want to do with this? Am I going to grow this? Obviously this came on because it's a karmic event. Things can just show up. For the next 6 months, things can just show up. Situations, people, things can just show up. And because this has been activated for 5 months, it's letting go, releasing. People coming in, you trying to figure out, do you want them in your life? How do you want to run your life? What do you want to do with your life? Where are you going next? How are you now? How are you now different than you were then? And where do you want to go? That's the questions that you want to ask. And so that solar eclipse will be happening for a while for you. So then on the 13th, Mars is still retrograde, but it is going to move into your 6th house and into Capricorn, which means it's very pinpointed, it's very directed, it's going to give you the energy to do what you want to do and need to get done. Now, this has to do with your everyday life again and your health and well-being. And I kind of have a feeling that some of you are not taking care of your health. That's the indication I'm getting, is that you're really having to look at how you're going to do this. Because if you don't look at this, if you don't work with this, then it can get not so good, right? But you can, now's the time. And so with Mars moving in here, this thing with this relationship, this thing that's mirroring you here, it's going to sort of come into your daily life, and you're trying to figure out how to balance all this, right? And so that's what's going to be going on with Mars. But Mars will give you the energy. It's going to make you work hard. You've had Saturn here, so you got to work really hard. And you have Pluto here. Pluto wants to teach you about control. Pluto is going to control things or have people control things so that you understand that ultimately you are in control of you, not anybody else but you, right? And so it's retrograde. You're reorganizing there. You're trying to figure out, what can I do? What can I not do? How much is too much? Is there balance? And how can I do that balance, right? And so then on the 19th, Mercury goes direct. So all these things, these things that have come in, these gifts that are coming in, you can bring that forth. You can really have processed that and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I've planned this out. This is the dream that finally that I have seen in my vision, and I've been planning for it, and I know what to do. And then you take the steps to do it, right? Don't get too much in your head. Take the steps. You're really, really good at taking steps. You're really, really good at taking action. You're really good at but you have to have the passion behind it, or you won't do it, right? Well, these are things that could be coming in that you're like, oh my God, I didn't even know I wanted that, but that's what I wanted, right? And so when Mercury goes direct, that's what you're going to be moving forward. Then on the 24th or 25th, the Sun enters Virgo, right? And that's in your 2nd house. So money-wise, financially, the money you earn hasn't been too much of a problem. Maybe for some of you it's been a little bit of a problem, but it hasn't been too much of a problem. And I mean the money you earn. Not the money you keep or want to keep or reinvest, but the money you earn, right? The value you put to you. So you understand mostly about your value, right? But you're understanding that your value is changing. You're understanding that you are changing, right? That's what this North Node is. So when the Sun goes into Virgo in your 2nd house, things are going to line up. Whatever you have passion for, whatever these gifts are, whatever this presence from the universe, presence from your higher self, whatever it is, these are going to get cleared up and aligned. And the Sun always wants to align. The Sun always wants to make it clear for you. And so I can see you having a really good month, right? But it's going to be in a very Virgo way. It's got to be planned. It's got to be organized. You got to do something with it. It can be very grounding, and it can, like you can invest it, make it way bigger. That's the time that you can do that, because Virgo is very grounding. Virgo is very organized, and Virgo has a lot of love. So the love that you put into it and make it organized, this investment or whatever this is, can actually go forth and make something bigger. So then on the 26th, we have this full moon in Pisces. And this full moon in Pisces is in your 8th house, right? And so you're clearing some stuff here in the 7th house. You're letting go. And then in this 8th house, this is about shared resources. This is about other people's money. This is about the contracts you have with other people, making you money, the inheritances, the insurances, the loans, and then shared resources with a significant other, a partner, business partner, romantic partner, whatever that is, right? And so full moons are about clearing. Full moons are about letting go of what no longer serves you. But if you're really letting go over here and you're already working with these 3, Neptune's, Pisces, and the moon, this can be about fate, destiny, and something coming through, because you have this grand trine here. And you guys know what grand trines are. This is like all karmic, higher self, ethereal stuff that can come through, right? Gifts for you, other people's money, and other people's shared resources, right? And so when this comes about in your 8th house, something could actually come through. That loan could come through, an inheritance can come through, but it's only going to if you've made room, if you've let go, if you go back and look at it in a different, very different way and release, right? Otherwise, this is going to be about letting go, about going back, about releasing. And I do have a video about the steps to take to release old energy, right? So last but not least, 28th, Mars goes direct. So Mars is going to go direct. It's going to start bringing forth. It's going to make you even more pinpointed. It looks by this time that you're going to get a handle on what's going on in this house. This house is so the 6th house and the 7th house and the 1st house are very, very prominent in your life right now. So those are the things that you really have been focusing on. And if you're not focusing on it, I'm telling you, Uranus is going to come change some things. And this eclipse is going to be completing some things. And this eclipse is going to be showing you some things. So when Mars goes direct, it's very pinpointed. It's already, like, this is stuff you've been working on in your 7th house. And then when it comes in your 6th house, it's going to start clearing up. You're going to see the way. Things are going to be easier, right? And then it won't really clear up until at the end of September and October, because it does move back here for a little bit. But then it'll go back and it'll really clear up and you'll complete the things. Again, it was speaking to that south node and that lunar eclipse. So it's time to complete, but it's going to complete about September, October. All right, my gorgeous ones, have a happy, happy birthday. I love you, love you, love you. I did want to mention that I teamed up with Instant Go. It's an app you can download. I'll have the link in the description box below. You can find me at YourPath39. Use the promo code INDIGO and you'll get $5 off your first order. This is so that if you have one question, if you want a daily, like, what's the most important thing today? What's my aspect? Like, just one thing that, or maybe there's a burning question you really have, but it's not, you don't want to have a whole session, or you just have a really quick question. Now you can text me through that app and I can text you back. I love you, love you, love you. Bye.